lesson 5.4, which we've started, and we talked about factors already, and we've been talking about factors of numbers the past week, and now we're going to go into the common multiples. So thinking of common multiples, you're just thinking of the products that a number can make. So like 3, if we can think 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. So 3, 6, and 9 are all multiples of 3 because those are the numbers that 3 can make. So today we're looking for common multiples. So for example, if we are looking at 3 and 4. So I'm going to say we're going to list the first 7 multiples of each number. Okay, so you're just thinking you're gonna multiply 3 all up to 7. So first we'd have 1 times 2 is 3, and then 6, and then we would have 9, and then 12, 15, 18, and then 21. So I got these numbers by skip counting or thinking 1 times 3, 2 times 3, 3 times 3, 4 times 3, 5 times 3, 6 times 3, 7 times 3. Okay, so that's how we're getting our multiples, because those are the numbers that the factor can make. So 4 would be times 2 would be 8, times 3 would be 12, and then 16, 20, 24, and then finally 28. Okay, so when we're thinking of common multiples, we're just going to take a look at the one that they have the same. And we're going to circle them. Okay, so let me switch out of this. And we're going to circle. Okay, so the common multiples of 3 and 4, let's see what we got. We got 12. So we'll circle those. 12. What else do we have? And that's pretty much it. If we had keep going one more here, we would have had 24. So if I went a next step here and did 24, because that's times 8, you could also circle 24. Alright, so the common multiples that we found here are 12 and 24. Alright, so that's how you find your common multiples. Now, pretend like if they ever ask you for the least common multiple, the least common multiple would be 12, because that's the first multiple that they have that's the same. Okay, so common multiples and then least common multiples. Okay, and then for your homework today, or I don't like to call it homework anymore, I just call it work. So for example here, okay, and this is page 303 in your workbook. You only have to do numbers 1 to 11. Yes, only number 1 to 11 on this page, nothing else. Okay, so you're just thinking, is the number a multiple of 8? Okay, so is 4 a multiple of 8? No, it is not. 4 would be a factor of 8. It is not a multiple of 8. Okay, the next one, you're going to list the 9 multiples, the first 9 multiples of 4, and then for 7. So just like what we did here, except we did the first 7. So now you're going to go all up to 9. And then you're going to just write the common multiples. Same thing for 3 and 9. Write down the multiples of 3 and 9, the first 9 of them, and then write the common multiples on the line. Okay, now you're thinking of 24. So 24 is either going to be a multiple or a factor of the number they give you, or neither. Okay, so 6. 24 would be a what? 24 is a multiple of 6. So you'd write multiple on the line. Okay, for 10, Ken paid $12 for 2 magazines. The cost of each magazine was a multiple of 3. What are the possible prices of the magazines? So you're pretty much listing the multiples of 3 and the 2 numbers you can add that would equal up to 12, because that's the total he spent on 2 magazines. For number 11, Jody bought some shirts for $6 each. Marge bought some shirts for $8 each. The girls spent the same amount of money on shirts. What is the least amount they could have spent? So see this word least? This is where you're going to list multiples of 6 and 8 till you find one that's the same. Because the first one that you find is the same would be your least one. Just like what we did here. Oh, just like what we did over here. We listed multiples of 3 and 4. The first one was 12, so that would be the least. Okay? So again, you only have to do, 1 is already done for you, all the way to number 11. And that's it. You do not have to do 12. You do not have to do the back. You don't have to do spiral review. You only have to do this front. Your parents can take a picture and send it to me. Or you can write your answers in a Google Doc and share it with me. There's no Google form for this today. So we're just going to turn this in how we've been turning in our other work. If you have any questions or concerns, you can feel free to email me. And that's it for today's lesson.